I got some news I want to talk about regarding the Disney streaming service and its shows. There have been some rumors and rumblings about the shows for the upcoming Disney streaming service app this week. First, being the idea that maybe the cancellation of Netflix's Iron Fist R.I.P. and Luke Cage Bigger R.I.P. means that the Heroes for Hire show that we've been thinking about for years is in the works. Though Luke Cage and Iron Fist often both play a big part in Heroes for Hire in the comics, and that would be cool. It's really just a conspiracy theory at this point. We also still have the Loki and Scarlet Witch shows in the works. And then lastly, there's been some talk about a potential Nick Fury show. And now people are saying that that's not true. But there is something coming that is bigger and better than a Nick Fury show. That's the rumblings online right now from Slash Films.
It's a big insult to Sam Jackson. We're like, no, way better than Nick Fury.
This old guy? We got something way cooler. Probably lasers.
He's not old in Captain Marvel.
I know, right?
That CGI looks so good.
It does look really good. But
so great.
What are your guys' thoughts on the bigger and better show and what it could be about? What characters could we be dealing with? Maybe teams? Could we actually finally see the what was that team that Freeform almost had with Squirrel Girl? Remember that show? They had it for a second and then it got canceled. They're like, no, we'll find a place for it. That never happened.
Hold on,
not Power Pack, not New Mutants. It's the youngers, the youngins, the young.
Because they were building up Squirrel Girl to potentially be like a Captain Marvel-esque, rescuer.
There you go. And now the actress.
Down under. What?
I love that show. But now she is over on Marvel Rising, the new animated show, playing Squirrel Girl. So good for her. You made it there. But no, what kind of characters would you want to see on this? I think taking MCU proper characters and moving them over, wouldn't it be confusing if they move the Netflix characters over, or am I thinking too much about this?
No way. The CW sold Buffy over to UPN, and then Supergirl went from CBS to
nice
to
reference.
CW. Yeah.
Supergirl and Constantine, they just took him from NBC. They're like, that happened over here.
Yeah. I'd love to see some version of Damage Control, right? That
That's
was
exactly what I was thinking.
In the works at first, and then they did.
Well, they were going to do both. They were going to do two versions of the same idea, and I think neither happened.
Right. Well, they did one on NBC. They had an actual show.
Powerless.
Did it?
Powerless.
But
that
one went like a season, and then
and it's the one that they kept revamping. That was set in the DC universe. And they started with the same idea of ground control. Maybe fill people ground control, damage control. Fill people in on what that is.
So damage control, it's from the Marvel comics. It's basically the ground level world. It's almost like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but more specifically, it's the people who have to clean up all the messes every time there's some calamity, like after the Battle of New York, or after Sokovia, or after the Triskelion disaster. They're the people who are sweeping up, and it's almost like a kind of an office set type comedy, but they deal with the aftermath, and rather than the secret agent world of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's more of cleanup crew.
A little like a Vulture story in Homecoming.
Yeah, because you have Damage Control now, but it would be fun to get a workplace comedy. I watched Powerless. It could have been better. Had some good moments. Could have been better, but it got canceled, so too late for that show.
There was a lot of interference on that show.
Yeah, but I think if it's just complete Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige controlled version of this, I think there could be a really fun version of that on the new Disney streaming app. I'd love for them to see that. Yeah, Damage Control. Just doing it as it is in the comics and keeping that tone, because it really is a great comic series.
If we get any of the Netflix characters, they should do Daughters of the Dragon before they would do Heroes for Hire, mainly because the fandom behind these shows that is vocal, even though we've seen some statistics recently, they're the word around Luke Cage season 2 and Iron Fist season 2 was pretty low. The support behind Simone Missick as Misty Knight and Colleen Wing, Jessica Henwick's Colleen Wing it's way bigger. Also, I think they're kind of better actors all the way around. So Daughters of the Dragon series, or even Heroes for Hire, and they're the main characters of that show, with Luke and Danny being a part of it as well.
But man, if they got relegated to side characters on that show, oof.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's them four all together, but they're really good characters and they're strong actors and they have support. So Disney, if you're gonna pick some characters, pick them.
I have a little bone to pick with this whole thing about Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Apparently, the word is they got cancelled because there wasn't enough social media conversation. Not enough people were tweeting about the shows. And that's how they valued it to its success or not. So it's social media and people that are very vocal are dictating what we can and can't be watching these days.
Do you think that's true?
That's what the report said, that there's just less online traffic.
Because that's the only thing we can know, but Netflix has their numbers of how many people are watching.
They don't release their ratings.
Anyone about them, and they use it to their benefit. But I bet Netflix is kind of if everyone was watching it and it weren't being talked about enough, they probably would have kept it. But yeah, I mean, I think that maybe that's the closest thing we can use is social media. because it's true. Like when we would do videos about it, you guys remember we used to do videos constantly about the Netflix universe, Marvel universe, and then Iron Fist came out, and then we kind of had to stop because you guys didn't even want to watch videos about these things.
Some of you did. Some of you did.
Yeah, of course.
Not enough. Yeah.
I mean, we cared enough to make them, right? Like, it's like we clearly were the people that cared, but they're just like, it was a measurable difference where we had to stop. Yeah, real quick, let's get back into the idea of what shows we're thinking that Disney might have. I'm going to throw one out there, and I want to hear somebody top me with a weirder one. Okay. But I would love for Hawkeye to finally get his due. And he gets a show where he's essentially Jason Bourne, because that's what they tried to do in the Bourne franchise.
I watched
Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner was going to be the next Bourne, and then that movie didn't work.
And the next Tom Cruise, Ethan
Hunt,
right?
Yeah, the next Ethan Hunt.
It didn't happen.
Yeah.
He's going to be the next Erik Voss. Like, it just keeps going.
No baby.
If you're gonna do that, bring Kate Bishop on. She's the other Hawkeye, and honestly, she's my favorite Hawkeye. Do it like make it spy stuff, or make it street level if you want to. Either way, Hawkeye works for both, and have her either he's training her or thinking he's training her, but she's already like aced it. She's already like equal to
Sam
what
figured it out.
Yeah, there you go.
Figured the whole thing out.
There you go.
Give this guy a studio.
Thank you. Look at me.
Give me something weirder. A weirder show than that.
Quicksilver, but right before he's shot, he runs around the world and like lives his last day.
A whole life. I really like that.
It don't even make sense, but we could try it. Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Nice.
You can do it.
I love that everybody else would be in slow motion. So he'd be like living his last life, but people are just like,
maybe he runs back in time.
Oh. And then comes back to get killed.
Yeah, he's got to, because time starts getting
all messed up.
Insert Doctor Who reference. I don't know. Yeah.
Wibbly wobbly.
One of you said earlier, and this is what I'm trying to call out, one of you said a Thanos origin story, which I thought was actually would be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Something with his parents and Alars.
Or just like essentially something out there instead of something down here.
Yeah. Like a cosmic story.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, how about this? You take Nick Spencer, great writer. He's writing Spider-Man right now. He did a Superior Foes of Spider-Man, and it was about the Sinister Six, but it was always 5 people, and they're all like the lamest. They're like it's part of the allure. Like everyone's like, where's the 6th guy? Like where are they? And they're all awful. They're so incompetent, and the leader's always just lying. He's always lying, even to you, the reader. It's got some of my favorite moments in like comics. It will make you. It'll tickle.
You're what?
I don't know. Go ahead, tickle you. It'll make you giggle. It's a good story, and I think like incompetent bank robbers is a fun concept that like Marvel, and then with Marvel you get fun costumes too, so maybe you can have some fun there.
There was that deleted scene from Thor Ragnarok where Odin was homeless, right? And then they I want to see Hob Odin. How about Hob Odin?
How about that costume?
Where people think they can make him fight another homeless person cruelly, but then he just like
you're doing bump fights.
Zaps him.
And is there a pay-per-view series? Yeah. I'll just throw out there finally the last one. It left my head when I threw my hand. I forgot what I was gonna say. No, it is. Sam, go ahead.
If you wanted a kind of like traveling with this like sadder hero throughout like a wide like
quick, no, let him
landscape.
say it. He'll forget it.
Silver Surfer, you go to different worlds, and I want something like that.
Oh yeah, very cool. That'd be cool animated too. But just do the Fantastic Four there.
Yeah.
Like just stop trying to do movies and just do the Fantastic Four.
Fantastic
Surfer. 4 people.
There you go. That's my pitch.
Have a hangout.